Abundance Overflow. Tree Beyond Babylon series. By Zion Dru. Chapter 1. The Kingdom is Built by Builders. Talk is cheap. It don't build bridges, feed families, or raise nations. God didn't give Adam a castle, he gave him a garden. That's the message people miss. He didn't say, sit down and pray for fruit. He said, work the soil. Because in the soil is the code to abundance. The blessing is always buried in sweat. Every brick you lay, every plan you draw, every vision you write down, that's divine labor. Heaven don't fund laziness. Heaven funds creation. A man feels miserable when he can't build. That ache in his chest ain't weakness, it's purpose trying to breathe. He's supposed to build homes, grow food, teach his tribe, and protect his people. Not chase validation, not scroll for comfort. Every empire begins with one man saying, I'll do it myself. And once he does, God multiplies him. Because builders and believers are the same thing. Chapter 2. Producers and Consumers, the Real Divide. Forget race, class, and politics. The real divide is simple. Producers and consumers. Producers create value. Consumers chase entertainment. Producers build systems. Consumers rent dreams. The economy is a spiritual war disguised as a marketplace. You either produce life or you consume energy. The rich ain't rich because they're lucky. They're rich because they own the pipeline. They don't just drink the water, they own the well. Look around. Most people want comfort, not dominion. But God didn't create kings to be comfortable. He created them to cultivate. Even the act of saving money, planting food, or designing something new, that's spiritual warfare. Because you're breaking free from the slavery of dependence. Every dollar you create is a declaration. I refuse to beg. Chapter 3. Joseph's Law, the Blueprint of God. When famine hit Egypt, the world panicked. But Joseph smiled, because he already had barns full of wheat. While others prayed for miracles, he prepared. He didn't just hear from God, he built with God. That's divine foresight. That's abundance intelligence. God told him, store during plenty so you can reign during drought. And here's the lesson. Those who plan become rulers when the world falls apart. Preparation is prophecy in motion. Joseph's barns were the first central banks, God's own wealth system. When others starved, they bowed to his structure. That's the power of infrastructure. It turns wisdom into empire. We keep shouting faith, but faith without storage, without savings, without systems is foolishness. Faith is not magic, it's management. Chapter 4. Infrastructure and Agriculture, the Forgotten Kingdom Codes. Every fallen civilization has one thing in common. They ate everything and built nothing. Infrastructure and agriculture are the twin lungs of a free people. Without roads, you can't trade. Without crops, you can't eat. Without water systems, you're one drought away from chaos. When God told Noah to build the ark, that was infrastructure. When Joseph built barns, that was logistics. When Israel built wells, that was agriculture. The modern world wants convenience, not self-sufficiency. But God wants kingdoms, not consumers. He wants gardens again, sustainable, sacred, generational. You think abundance is money. No, abundance is capacity. It's owning the land, planting the seed, building the system. It's the freedom to say, we don't need your permission to eat. So invest in irrigation, learn how to store food. Teach your sons how to build homes. Teach your daughters how to grow herbs and manage land. That's legacy, that's liberation. Chapter 5. The Game of Money, the Hidden Matrix. Money is energy, not paper. It flows according to who respects it. And like energy, it multiplies for the disciplined and disappears from the fearful. Treat your money like monopoly money, a strategy game. Detach your emotions from the bills and attach your intelligence to the moves. Stack, invest, flip, rebuild. You ain't supposed to worship money, but you're supposed to master it. The Bible said the love of money is evil, not the use of money. Money is a servant, you're the master. But the truth is, most people are slaves because they play not to lose instead of playing to win. They hide their seed, while the bold plant and multiply it. That's why the streets stay broke. They fear the risk that brings reward. Take chances, take losses, learn fast. Because the man who risks with wisdom eventually owns what others rent. This life is chess, not checkers. And God gave you a mind sharper than any computer. So play your hand, flip your pain into profit. Chapter 6, the miserable man and the divine creator. When a man can't produce, his soul starts starving. That's not depression, that's divine hunger. He's supposed to create, not just survive. Men today got muscle but no mission. They chase distractions but not destiny. That's why they numb themselves with noise, because silence reminds them of what they haven't built yet. But God don't bless noise, He blesses creation. The moment you start producing music, food, systems, gardens, products, whatever, you start healing. Because purpose is therapy, and productivity is prayer in motion. Man was made in the image of the Creator, not the consumer. So when he's not creating, he's dying slowly. That's why the first instruction in Eden wasn't be entertained. It was cultivate. That word means build, grow, nurture. So ask yourself, what are you cultivating? If you're not building something daily, you're burying your potential. Chapter 7, after difficulty comes ease. Every drought ends, every storm passes. But the ones who survive ain't the lucky, they're the prepared. When life tests you, it's not punishment, it's pruning. You're being cut to grow cleaner, sharper, stronger. After difficulty comes ease, not because the world changes, but because you do. Once you've endured, money, love, and peace all start chasing you. Because now, your frequency matches abundance. You stop begging and start becoming. You stop chasing and start attracting. That's divine magnetism, the law of vibration the prophets knew before science did. As above, so below. As within, so without. When you align your actions with truth, the universe moves like a servant of your purpose. That's why abundance is spiritual before it's financial. Chapter 8, overflow, the God economy. The truth is, God's resources never ran out. We just stopped managing them. There's enough water, food, and energy on earth for every soul to live in peace. But greed, laziness, and division choke the flow. That's why the chosen are waking up, to rebuild the tree beyond Babylon. We ain't meant to beg the system, we're meant to outgrow it. To plant, build, trade, and create our own divine economies. Overflow ain't luck, it's alignment. When your thoughts, words, and work line up with divine law, everything multiplies. The key is simple. Build something that feeds others, and you'll never lack. Water others, and your well never runs dry. Teach others, and your wisdom becomes infinite. That's God's math. Give, grow, gain. So the next time you feel broke, remember, the seed looks buried before it breaks ground. The night looks longest right before the dawn. But you were never meant to chase. You were meant to attract through creation, discipline, and divine rhythm. Because abundance ain't coming, it's already here. You just gotta build the roads for it to travel through.